back on Friday that they needed 48 hours to find what was called an Arab solution. That obviously has failed.
If the Arabs won't get tough, then Bush says he will. White House aides say Bush has dispatched Defense Secretary Cheney to Saudi Arabia to stiffen the Saudis' backbone. Bush has run out of patience with the temporizing of Saudi King Fahd. Meanwhile, Bush has been on the phone seeking and getting hardline support from Western leaders and from a surprisingly tough Japan, which today joined the embargo on Iraqi oil imports.
They are staunch friends and allies, and we will be working with them all for collective action. This will not stand. This will not stand, this aggression against Kuwait.
Late today, Bush's national security advisors gathered at the White House, where tomorrow Bush will meet with the Secretary General of NATO and with Britain's Margaret Thatcher. The goal? To prevent a permanent Iraqi-installed government in Kuwait.
There is no intention on the part of any of these countries to accept a puppet government.
But how can the Allies stop it?
Just wait. Watch and learn.
President Bush made it clear today that he is not about to sit by and let Iraq set the price for the world's oil supply. There are indications tonight that U.S. forces may soon be ordered to move into place for possible military action. Fred Francis has part of the story.
The Iraqi regime released this video today as proof that some of the 80,000 invading troops were pulling out of occupied Kuwait. Dozens of these modern Soviet-made T-72 tanks were loaded onto flatbeds and driven north. The jubilant desert soldiers cheered on their journey home. But as the president said, satellite photographs reveal there is no Iraqi troop withdrawal. In fact, Hussein has moved even more tank divisions closer to Kuwait. NBC News has learned that Iraq has pulled as many as tens of thousands of men from their positions along the Iranian border and moved them into position just above Kuwait. One intelligence source said Hussein has become so sophisticated in moving troops that his reserve force from the Iranian border would need only 3 days to capture the Saudi capital.
We have a situation where we've had a wolf knocking at our door, and we persuaded ourselves that he's really a vegetarian. And I think this past week's incident indeed indicates that he likes red meat.
So is Saddam Hussein intent on having the red meat of Saudi Arabia? One senior official said today, "I can honestly say that no one in Washington knows what this man will do."
Meantime, American oil companies aren't waiting for further developments in the Iraqi invasion. Dealers say the companies are already charging more for gas. The Lundberg survey of wholesale prices reports that since the invasion, gasoline dealers are paying 9.5 cents more per gallon for regular unleaded gas. U.S. Marines in Liberia have tonight successfully evacuated 59 Americans who wish to flee the fighting that has ripped apart the capital of the West African nation. The White House says a reinforced rifle company of 225 U.S. Marines was flown to Monrovia by helicopter today for the evacuation effort and to provide additional security for Americans who wish to stay. White House spokesman Marlin Fitzwater says the initial phase of the operation was successful with no shots being fired. The evacuated Americans were taken to Freetown in neighboring Sierra Leone. Up next, a homeless veterans reunion and how I got my PhD without really trying. Stay with us.
The future of one of Hollywood's most powerful families hinges on one question. What really happened the night Marlon Brando's son Christian was arrested for murder? Now, for the first time, the mystery unraveled. A current affair takes all the pieces of the puzzle and reconstructs the night Christian allegedly shot his sister's lover. Exclusive Bloodshed at Brando's.
See A Current Affair Monday at 4:30 on Channel 6.
Pick some plump, juicy Michigan fresh blueberries at Hy-Vee. They're just 88 cents a pint, along with large fresh eggs, 59 cents a dozen. Tombstone Original Pizza, $2.99. And 80% lean ground beef, $1.58 a pound. Shop Carnival Days at Hy-Vee.
Where there's a helpful smile in every eye. Shop Hy-Vee.
I'm used everywhere, man, I'm used everywhere. Across the desert's bare, man, up in the mountain air. People all declare, man, I'm used everywhere. I'm used in Brighton, Clarkson, Stapleton, Tulsa, Pendleton, Madison, Denison, Alamosa, Hot Springs, Rock Springs, Soda Springs, Pocatello, Fargo, Pueblo, Provo, Walla Walla, Sioux City, Rapid City, Junction City, Moose Lake, Crater Lake, Devil's Lake, Salt Lake, for Pete's sake, I'm used everywhere.
It's the one that gets used. U.S. West Direct.
Shake the heat this summer.
I hear you know what's shaking.
Shaken?
With Hills Brothers Instant Coffee Shake.
Showtime!
Take your shaker, sugar and ice. Milk or water makes it nice. Oh, Hills Brothers, shake, shake. Instant coffee, shake, shake, shake. It's what's shaking, all right.
How's that?
Can I have another one?
Buy an 8-ounce jar and the shaker is free.
A couple of Vietnam veterans who live on the streets of Omaha will have a chance to reunite with fellow veterans at the upcoming state reunion. Carl Bieber has more on the story.
You're two homeless Vietnam veterans.
The director of the St. Francis House for the Homeless is given a Vietnam Veterans Reunion T-shirt. Not for himself, but for one of 2 other vets who are homeless. They'll be able to attend this year's state reunion for free.
A lot of times the experiences that they had while they were in the service have a lot to do with the situations that they're in today, that those issues need to be dealt with. And it was my experience the first time I went to a reunion and was that it was an opportunity for me to be able to come to realize that these experiences and to let go of it and start moving forward in my life again.
James Martin Davis is the chairman of the Vietnam Vets Group, formed 7 years ago. This is a first for them. He says it's part of any veteran's responsibility.
And we have to look out for these individuals that, are trying to break out of poverty or drug abuse or alcohol abuse. Those aren't simple tasks to do.
Neither of these men expect a turnaround in the 2 unidentified homeless men, just a sense of camaraderie and a reminder that their battlefield efforts have not been forgotten. Carl Bieber, Action News 6.
The reunion will be held at the Omaha Holiday Inn beginning Thursday and running through Sunday. More than 500 veterans are expected to attend. Italian Catholics celebrate their heritage and the patron saint of Italy. It's called the Santa Lucia Festival. And earlier today, celebrants held the annual procession from the church services to the celebration near Rosenblatt Stadium. People who live along the route make it a habit each year to go outside and watch the parade. The celebration continued tonight just north of Rosenblatt Stadium, featuring plenty of Italian food. The entire event wraps up on Monday evening. Well, normally I'm not the sort of person to brag about my accomplishments, but tonight I just can't resist. You see, after a great deal of hard work and dedication on my part, I've earned my PhD. I recently graduated from one of America's most prestigious institutions of higher learning, the University of Okoboji in northern Iowa. If you're unfamiliar with the curriculum there, I'd like to take this time out to tell you all about it.
I'd like to enroll in the University of Okoboji and major in journalism and golf.
Here's your official school uniform, and if you'll sign in here, please. I see you've spelled your name correctly. You've fulfilled your journalism requirement. It's time for your next course.
My next class was Golf 101. My instructor was Doug Meredith at the Brooks Golf Course. Oh, Doug, how'd I do?
You deserve that.
One of the classes I'm taking here at the University of Okoboji is driver's education, where I'm learning how to be a safe and courteous driver. Oh, excuse me. One of the great perks about being a student here at the University of Okoboji is that you get free football tickets. For example, we'll be playing the Nebraska Cornhuskers on September 31st. The only problem is that the month of September only has 30 days. Most of the students and graduates from the university are common folks, although some have become fairly well known.
All right. Got to show you a photo of an alum that's made good. Oh, yeah. See what he's wearing?
Yeah.
The Three Sons store in Milford is the headquarters for the University of Okoboji. As you may have guessed, it is unique. The university has never given out a degree less than a PhD, and no student has ever made any grade less than an A. There are no dormitories and no classrooms. It is the greatest university that never was.
Well, I'll tell you, Byron, we feel so fortunate up here to have, gosh, one of the most beautiful campuses with our lakes area. So we have the campus, we have the people and the sports and the activities. Who cares about the classes?
Herman Richter says the university began about 13 years ago when its name was printed on some T-shirts that sold very well. Since then, a lot of T-shirts have been sold, with a generous portion of the proceeds funding community betterment projects in the Okoboji region.
Now, you know, there are some cynics who would say, now, the University of Okoboji really doesn't exist. Now, what do you tell them?
You're kidding me. They're probably the same people that don't believe in Santa Claus. No, you bet. They're for sure. There really is a University of Okoboji.
After toiling for an entire day and a half, it was time for my commencement. But forget about the robe and mortar board. At Okoboji, we prefer a beach towel and a golf cap.
Byron, you look great in your cap and gown. Congratulations on your straight A's. Here's your PhD in golf and journalism. In fact, you're the first double major in the history of the University of Okoboji. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thus ends my doctorate studies at the University of Okoboji. I'm now a member of the largest alumni group in the world. In fact, you may be a member too. You see, you are automatically considered a graduate if you're alive and having a good time. I'll be back right after this.
OPPD's Energy Advisor says that installing flow restrictors on your shower heads takes about 10 minutes, but saves energy for years by reducing the amount of water you need to heat. Think about it.
I have a family history of breast cancer, and I need some information on symptoms and treatment.
Cancer HelpLink can help.
I'm doing a report on leukemia. Where can I call for information?
Cancer HelpLink can help.
Dad smokes and has developed a persistent cough. He doesn't have a physician. Who can I call?
Call Cancer HelpLink, 1-800-999-LINK for expert information, answers, assistance. Sponsored by the University of Nebraska Medical Center in cooperation with the American Cancer Society.
With flow restrictors, you won't lose the water pressure you like. And best of all, a family of 4 may save from 15 to 20,000 gallons of water a year. Energy tips from the Energy Advisor and OPPD, your energy partner.
To be honest with you, I like to be able to pronounce everything I read in the labels. I like to think of myself as having a healthy, balanced diet. That means less salt, less fat, all that sort of thing.
Delicious, healthy choice frozen dinners. Our label clearly shows we're low in fat, sodium, and cholesterol to help you keep your heart healthy.
I would say it certainly passes my strictest tests.
Try Healthy Choice dinners and our delicious new entrees.
Well, Paul, I guess you can call me Doc Wood from now on.
That's right. Boy, if they made you a PhD for spelling wood, they ought to make me president of the university for Bouchereau.
I wouldn't even try to spell your name.
Oh, beautiful weather up there. They're going to love it up there. We're going to love it here in Omaha because we're going to have it right on through the week. And we're going to start it off with tonight with temperatures under a clear sky should dip into the 50s, not only in Nebraska, but most of Iowa. May even see some 40s way up in the northeastern part of Iowa. Tomorrow, pretty much a rerun what we had today. Lots of sunshine, nice mild temperatures, mainly into the 70s, thanks to high pressure that came in through Canada, now moving through at this hour, and it'll continue to bring us a couple of nice days. Most of the bad weather should stay to our southeast, where they have some thunderstorms down across the Ohio Valley, also some thunderstorms out towards Colorado that may make their way into western parts of Nebraska, but I think for the most part, we have a bunch of nice sunny days and clear nights. We're going to start off with tonight. We have clear skies in Omaha, 64 degrees, north winds at 6 miles per hour, and we're going to stay with that nice weather right on through the next couple of days. In fact, temperatures mainly in the 50s and 60s across much of the area. We had temperatures range from 57 over at Sydney. That's the coolest I could find, to 66 coming in at Valentine, and temperatures will probably drop down another 5 to 10 degrees. There's that satellite view. We've had a lot of storminess out towards Colorado, as well as the western parts of Nebraska. Have had some heavy rains right around the Denver area once again. Also some pretty good thunderstorms right on the Gulf Coast. But speaking of the Gulf Coast, they're more worried about Tropical Storm Diana that's making its way through the Yucatan. Even over land, maximum winds right around 45 miles per hour. Could strengthen as it comes off the peninsula. Right now, it looks like it's headed right on off towards the lower Texas coast, but it looks like the upper level winds may push it a little bit more towards the north, towards Louisiana, but that'll be later on in the week. And I don't think we'll have anything like that to worry about, because we're going to be seeing some smooth sailing. Most of the bad weather this afternoon and this evening have been out to our west. Have had some pretty good rains in the mountains as well as the southwest. In fact, they had 4 to 6 inches of rain right around the Dallas area. Record heat down towards Louisiana as well as Texas out ahead of that front. And out towards Phoenix, they had one peak wind gust at 65 miles per hour with a thunderstorm there. And we're going to be seeing most of the thunderstorms heading down towards our south. We'll have to watch this next storm system. Looks like it'll affect us maybe Wednesday or Thursday as it moves on through, but tomorrow looks like it'll bring a hot day to portions of Montana and North Dakota. For us, anything but hot. Temperatures tomorrow should be into the upper 70s. In fact, we'll see a steady climb right on into Friday as we hit a temperature of 88 degrees. We may even sneak a thunderstorm in on Friday. Our forecast for tonight, a nice one. Clear skies, 52 degrees, north winds at 5 to 10. And for tomorrow, oh, enjoy. 79 degrees, easterly winds at 5 to 10. Then for tomorrow night, another clear one, 56 and southeast winds. Here's what our outlook looks for the mid part of the week. Temperatures should gradually climb. It may be a bit on the warm side Thursday and Friday as temperatures reach into the upper 80s. The morning temperatures, nice and calm, mainly in the lower 60s.
You continue to be a very popular guy.
That's right, PhD for those kind of temperatures.
Keep up the good work. Up next, the British witness an NFL invasion. Rich Teesfeld and sports right after this.
On the next Inside Edition, Marlon Brando's son is accused of killing this man, Dag Drolet, the boyfriend of Brando's daughter. Now, for the first time, an exclusive interview with the victim's family.
As far as we know, Dag was killed like a dog, mafia style, in Marlon Brando's house.
The Brando murder case on the next Inside Edition. On the inside, it's a whole different story.
Monday at 4 on Channel 6.
This is no joke. There's no interest, and there are no payments until January 15th, 1991. Plus, you get Allen Furniture's August sale prices. Go figure. There's no interest, and there are no payments until January 1991. Plus, Allen Furniture's August sale prices. No joke. 78th and L, Omaha.
On the next Lifestyles, it's champagne excitement as we toast party kings from Emperor Nero to Malcolm Forbes. The Sunstruck Hideaway where superstars kick back in a mellow mood. The house that Dennis Weaver built out of garbage. Country comfort with Crystal Gale. The Reverend George Foreman's challenge to Mike Tyson. Plus, Captain Lauren Hutton's nautical adventure. The stories America will never stop talking about on the next Lifestyles.
Saturday at 6 on Channel 6.
They could have used some of our weather at the Hall of Fame ceremonies today.
Yeah, certainly Jim Palmer and Joe Morgan are veterans enough that they've been through a lot of rainouts. But as I mentioned, nobody in baseball wanted a rainout in Cooperstown today. But for the first time in almost 30 years, that unfortunately is exactly what they got. Most unfortunate for the thousands of fans who jammed the grounds of the Hall to honor the two inductees in the class of 1990, former Orioles pitcher Jim Palmer and ex-Reds second sacker Joe Morgan. The induction ceremonies have been rescheduled for 9 a.m. our time tomorrow. Action on the fields today, it was the Rickey Henderson show today for Oakland. Henderson with the 44th leadoff home run in his career today. That extends his own record. Came against the Angels. He also does it with his glove as the A's get by California 4-1 to remain atop the AL West. Now in the National League West, Lou Pinella's Reds have been sinking fast, but Cincy got it together today. Hal Morris's home run, the big blow, and a 6-2 victory over the Padres. Let's go to the scoreboard. Nashville over Omaha today at the Black 2-1. That's 2 straight victories for the Sounds. It's the first time in 7 weeks the Blue has lost 2 in a row. American League, Casey was rained out at Baltimore. Oakland got a win. Same with the Pale Hose, 6-1 over the Brewers. Detroit down Boston 7-2. The Yanks over the Tribe 5-3. Seattle blanks Minnesota 4-0. And Nolan Ryan takes the loss for the Rangers tonight 6-4 against Toronto. National League, the Cubs have made it 15 wins in their last 20 games, 3-1 over the Expos. St. Louis downs the Mets 8-3. Philadelphia tops the Buccos 8-6. Cincinnati, as you saw, got by the Pods. The Dodgers outslugged San Francisco. And it was Houston making it 3 straight victories. The Stros over the Braves 6-2. For the 5th year in a row, the British got a taste of football American style today as the Raiders and the Saints squared off in the American Bowl. A near sellout, 60,000 plus at Wembley Stadium, and the fans missed one Raider in particular, Bo Jackson, obviously still with his royal family in Kansas City. First half, Reuben Mays sweeps in for New Orleans, and the Saints lead it at the break 7-3. Second half, Gil Fenerty is in from the 2, and it's 14-3 Saints. And we'll show you a great individual effort by Elvis Patterson of the Raiders. He blocks the punt, recovers himself to pull LA within 17-10, but that's the way it ends. The Saints win it by